Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about fast fashion. So I thought I'd go through just, my story throughout my life in terms of how my fashion sense developed. And admittedly, it's not very good, right? One of the main things about fat fashion is availability. Scarcity in extended sizings is pretty dire. And I'm not advocating for like more fat sizings, like, oh, we should be more size inclusive, because that's honestly, it's come and gone in the American zeitgeist. There was a time when almost every brand had a big and tall section, and some of them still do, but honestly, they weren't selling, right? There's not enough fat people to, justify the demand from Nike or anything like that. So they are big enough to carry certain sizings, but it's not necessarily good enough, right? Growing up as a youth who was bigger than most people, or most kids, I wouldn't say people, but I was bigger than the average person I was in the same age group as. I would source my clothes from hand me downs through my cousins who were larger than me, or I would go to Fallas Paredes or Fallas Paredes if you're more, I guess, whitewash. The Salvation Army, Goodwill, like every shop that is now a reseller heaven used to be just for the average Joe looking to buy some used clothes, gently used clothes, secondhand, you know? And one of the things that shaped me a lot growing up was when I was like 8 or 9, my mom had bought me corduroy pants, right? And they were like a burnt orange corduroy pants, probably from somebody who passed away who was from like the 60s or, late 70s, early 70s, something around that time. And I wore those pants from like age 7 or 8 all the way till I was about 13 or 14, right? Because they were flooding on me as a kid. Or not flooding, what's the word? They were really big on me as a child. And my mom would always say I would grow into them. And as I grew up, I did grow into them. And then it got to the point where it was like, they were like skinny jeans on me. They used to be oversized, now they're skinny jean sized. And even when they grew above my ankle, we were not in the position to buy new clothes every time you needed to, replace them. So I swear, I cut the legs off and I had corduroy jorts all through middle school. And it did not help me. My character was assassinated, right? But along with those scarcity rules, there's also the second part, which is just psychological. I feel like a lot of fat people will wear shirts in the pool or will pull down their shirt, which is like the big thing right now. Because we actually do that, right? If I died and I fell back and my arms went like this, I would come back from the death, cover my fat arms, and then pull my shirt down before I passed away. Because I did not want to be found like that, right? It's just one of those things you're born knowing, like, hey, I'm in a bad position, I'm in a bad spot condition wise, and I need to dress a certain way. And third, societal pressures. In 2026, we've actually like gone past the soft era, and now more people are just, seeing reality for what it was. So like this, I looked up fat dudes on TikTok because these are the actual dudes that exist, right? Like this is how most people dress. They're real life. These are the people you'll see in the street, not co-opted by, generational trauma and social media. Because most dudes dress like this, and like, if be honest, if you saw me in a lineup with these dudes, you wouldn't even flinch. You'd be like, oh, he must be like their cousin or a brother or something like that. And each dude, I've worn their exact outfits several times, even the dude with the sandals. Fat dudes in sandals, I don't know. If you're foreign or I guess outside of the US, it would be more acceptable. Like if you're from Vietnam or like Saudi Arabia or something like that. But if you're in America and you're walking around 600 pounds, 500 pounds, 400 pounds in sandals, people are judging you. And I've been judged. And this is not so much a hater comment. This is just real life. Like people would judge me so hard. And then later on, they'd tell me, like, yeah, you look like a fool. Like this dude stole my whole flow. It's crazy, right? And just growing up, you see things like it's a little humorous to be fat, right? Jonah Hill, funny dude. He got skinny, not as funny. But these are things that I would wear, and these are things that I would feel. And like, I would always wear a sweater. It'd be 90 degrees in South Central. I'd be wearing a sweater, right? I'd be hiding myself, so I would think people wouldn't think I was fat. During the fire drills, it was always hot outside. I'd sit on the floor baking, right? But I had a little cover on my thing, and I was like, nobody knows I'm fat. I'm just like all these regular dudes, which was not the case, right? But moving away from like actual pictures, and I have pictures pulled up of like fits I've worn in my young adult and like relatively adult life. But I feel like as a fat person, like these are things that they're universal. Like I've worn every single one of these fits we've gone through so far. And honestly, people I knew are cognizant. They're not disabled mentally or physically or anything like that. They're not blind. And they've been like, oh, yeah, that's just a bill fit, right? When they should have told me I look like a corny ass dude, right? So it's crazy. They've been playing in my face since like '08. I looked up plus size models, men, and obviously it'll be a little bit more, I guess, sanitized, right? But like most dudes don't dress like this. And I feel like in the conundrum, you're either dressing like the dudes on TikTok or B, you're going way too formal or fashionable, right? And plus size is a broad spectrum. Like some of these dudes, like if you're in the NFL or the NBA, you're technically plus size, but you're big. You're not fat, right? So you'll notice that like all these dudes, like this dude kind of dressed like Ricky Gervais, and Ricky Gervais is kind of a fat dude, right? And it's either you go super preppy or you just like let it go, pal. And I try not to let it go, but sometimes it like calls to me, like the Green Goblin mask. It's like, put on the Crocs, put on the athletic shorts, put on the ill-fitting t-shirt. It's fine. No one will notice. But everybody notices. They just don't tell me because people are afraid. I feel like a lot of people have the misconception that fat people are strong. Only a few fat people are strong. Like if you're over 6 feet, based on your size, you're probably stronger than the average person being under 5'10". But if the dude's like 5'5" and like 300 pounds, like that dude's probably not strong, right? And usually you could see it in their eyes, whether they're really about that life or not. But like, this is the thing. Like this dude, Big Boy Makeover, I've watched this video, but like this dude dresses like me. Graphic tees and fat dudes go together like freaking, I don't know, garlic and salt. Like they're just perfect pairing, right? This is the fit that I aspire to be. This is like the ideal fat dude that I want to be when I grow up, even though I'm grown, right? Just neutrals, just regular, normal. Or I guess whatever the definition of normal is at the time. But if you are a fat dude, there are different options for you. And so two things. The quick thing for shoes, you might be wearing ill-fitting shoes. Like if you're walking and your feet hurt, it might be because of your weight, which is generally what it is. But you might also have wide feet. And a lot of people do have wide feet, not just fat people. So I would consider going to like Roadrunner Sport or like any running or marathon store. They'll measure your feet. I went to Roadrunners and I was like, oh, I'm going to do a 5K. I need some running shoes. And they looked at me like, you running? I don't know. But they have like a foot scanner and they scanned my foot. And they told me like, hey, you're wearing 15s because your feet are wide. But it turns out you're actually a 12 wide or a 13 wide, depending on the maker, because some brands run more narrow than others. But yeah, so go get your feet measured, buy shoes that fit, and you'll be more willing to exercise because your feet won't ache after a couple hours or like maybe a couple 30 minutes if you're me. But yeah, once I got shoes that fit, it worked out. The only thing to consider though is if you go to the Roadrunner places or like these fancy marathon running stores, they will pressure you to buy shoes there or buy their or buy their insoles, which are like $80, right? And they got me the first time. They were like, oh, you have pronation, supination, which is when you step, your feet will curve, right? So like when I walk like this on the like sides of my feet because I'm so heavy. And they talked me into the insoles. They're $80. They did not help me. They fit okay in the store, and I was like, oh yes, thank you. And I bought them, but I really only worn them like 6 or 7 times because after a certain 6-7, but after a certain amount of time, like they just started hurting my feet. And so when I switched to 12 wide shoes that did fit the size of my feet and were relatively comfortable, I mostly wear Skechers. Skechers has come a long way. They're not ugly as they used to be. I'm not wearing shape ups, but They have like a lot of dupes, and I think that's their new strategy. But yeah, if you need wide shoes, get them at Skechers. They're not gonna last as long, but if you need shoes that are lasting longer and you're heavy set, you're better off getting like boots, like a Chelsea boot or something, because the softer the insole, like if you wear like a Nike Pegasus or a Nike Air Max, being heavy will crush the insole, and then you'll get that weird thing where they wear in a weird pattern, and then obviously like you're walking on the sides of your feet. When I was in Japan, actually, I was wearing some Hokas, and I think they're like Hoka 13s or Hoka 11s or something, but the insole was so soft. And when I first had them on, they were like the perfect shoe. I was like, dude, it feels like I'm walking on a cloud. I got like 2 weeks into Japan, or maybe a week and a half into Japan, they blew out, bro. Like AAA was not gonna save me. Like my friend probably still has a picture of it, but like one shoe was like at like almost a 45-degree angle cut off at the bottom. So I was walking like Quasimodo. I still walk with a waddle just because like I'm heavy set, but it was a really bad time. And then I had to switch to like loafers, and that was brutal the last couple days of my trip in Japan. On that note, as a fat person, when you travel abroad, they never try and sell you anything. Like I was in Hawaii, I was in Japan, I was in China, in these other countries, and normally there's people and hawkers in the stall. They're like, "Hey, we'll sell you a shirt. Hey, we'll sell you some pants." Blah blah blah. I walk through, they don't say nothing to me. They're like, "We don't have your size, bro. You're huge," right? And it's like they hate fat people, and a lot of people don't like fat people, and I understand, right? Like I'm big, I'm wide, I'm built like a dually. Like I'm definitely more of a burden to be around than not, right? And that's what we're working on in this channel and in this series. I'm trying to figure out, what's the best way to lose weight and keep it off, right? So continuing on, you can buy stuff on Amazon. I highly recommend Amazon because they're a lot more inclusive, right? So the sizing is better, and they actually have specific shirts and stuff like that for extended sizings. Like me myself, I'm a 5XLT, and honestly, it's like hit or miss sometimes. But they're like brands like this king size, I don't recommend them. They have like a billion sizes, right? But it's like a double-edged sword. Like they go up to an 8X large, but like honestly, the fabric and the material, it kind of looks tacky, to be honest. Like to me, it's like, yeah, they look good on the models, but once you have it in hand, it's not great, right? I'll show you a brand I recommend better later, but like it's tough out here, dude. It's tough out here for a big dude. Men's fashion, big and tall. Like again, like big and tall is different. Like being over 6 foot, you're tall, and then if you're in the NFL or the NBA or you're like relatively muscular, you're big. But big and tall encompasses not only fat people but also just regular big dudes, right? So that's something to keep in mind. Uh, DXL, dude. When I was young and I got like actual adult money, I was like, I'm gonna wear real clothes that fit me, dude. DXL does you so dirty. These things are so expensive. I do recommend their suits and stuff. They've gone down in terms of like quality, I would say. But you can find like a 62 long, which is like a huge jacket, but that's what I wear, right? Because I'm so big up top. And then the thing they do is they also sell a suit like combo. But sometimes, like me, I have smaller legs. I'm like a 4XL on my legs and like a 6XL, 5XLT on top, right? So it's hard to do the brandings. And separately, like even this is just the jacket, $210. The pants are probably 180 or $100 for like this for the matching. And then obviously, like when you go to sizings, neck size is important because sometimes you need a thick neck. Like me myself, I have like a smaller neck, but like it's under my chin and my head is big. I have big head, little neck. I don't know. I'm just a freak. I'm a circus freak. Big body, little legs, big head, little neck. Like it's tough. Like you gotta put me in jail or something. But honestly, like the stuff looks good. It's just expensive, dude. Like I have a coupon from them for like $5, but nothing is $5. And then one thing I also have a criticism as when you're a fat dude and you're just trying to find a tie, it's hard to find just a regular tie of quality, right? It's always like these crazy stylings, and it's like I feel like it's a conspiracy. It's like, oh, these fat dudes need clothes. Let's do like the goofiest stuff we can find and give it to them, right? So like anything you buy here, especially like in the graphic t-shirt, which I guess if you want to be quirky, right? Like casual shirts, like if you want to be quirky, that's fine. But like some of these things are a little out there for me personally, but it's a good option if you're like flush with cash, and it's a good, good idea for you. Let's see if I can find the graphic tees. Yeah, graphic tees, dude, tough, tough out here. Like these probably look good on the models, but they're a model and they're not like built like me, right? Like my boobs would make Wild Tang look like 3D, right? Jurassic Park, the T Rex would have jumped out at you. But it's a good option. I would say it's like not my number one, but it's decent, right? GameStop used to be the destination for graphic tees, but it looks like now they've kind of moved away from it all. The only thing they have right now is a 3X. So that's kind of like the max, but you'll see that's normal, right? Nike has good pants and shorts. They have like a 4XL, but this strong size is my preferred brand for t-shirts. Well, they're a little pricier, but the quality is good. And obviously like XL to 8XL, it's really good. And they have longer body, right? Perfect length every time. So like that would be me usually, and that's me now. Right. I mean I put on a little weight since I bought my size, so it might be a little closer to the right, but we'll get back to this part where it's fine. Right. But I highly recommend this. You can do a 7-pack, which brings the cost per shirt down, because I think it's like $20 a shirt usually, or I guess 35, right? And then with the bundles, it's cheaper. So if you go to shop, I don't know about the build your own, but like sale, like you'll see me like in my day to day life, I wear these shirts crazy style, or like every day. So like, oh, they took them away. But like this one, a 4-pack for $64, that's decent, right? Like $64 is still kind of steep for all at once, but it's like $16 a shirt, right? Which is not bad. And honestly, like I wear their crew neck shirts, and those are ideal for me as a person. Let's see if I can go back and show you guys. All right, shop. See tops. Let's do t-shirts. All right, so like everyday stretch shirt. I think this is for when it's $30. They used to be 20, but I think because of all the craziness abroad and like shipping, it's gone up. But you'll see like if you get a 7-pack long length, they kind of do you dirty, honestly, because like I'm not gonna wear the gray ones, and I rarely wear the blue ones, so it's like not working for me. But if I go to like a 5-pack, which is like $20, which is where I got my price originally, the all black works usually. 5XL, 6XL, and then just longer, right? So it's steep, but it's not bad, right? Not terrible. And then finally, Columbia for outerwear. Like, as a fat person, I don't usually get cold, but since I've moved to the Bay, it's a lot colder nightly. So I think right now it's like 50 in my house, and I don't want to turn the heating on because PG&E is coming for my neck. But yeah, so like me personally, when I do this, I'll go to filters, size, and I'm a 5XT, which is like right at the top, which honestly was a big win for me personally. Like I used to be a 6XL, and like nothing fit as far as jackets. I would just have to wear a really big t-shirt and maybe an undershirt that was like a little bit tighter, again, to hide my folds. But you'll see like they have certain things that are in my size range. So I can wear these shirts and I can wear these jackets, and the jackets fit well. Like this is Columbia, right? Um I have a vest from Columbia, and I think it's for like snowing or something. But they'll have like sales. They'll have like sales throughout the year, and it's a good time to pick them up, right? Because like if you're a fat dude, you're gonna need a jacket. Maybe not if you're like from Florida, but anywhere else where it gets colder than like I'd say 60 degrees, they definitely have something for you, right? Like this is the one I'm wearing now. $75, not bad, right? And then I guess this is the part I've been like low key dreading is actual pictures of me, you know? So like throughout my life, I've always been concerned with appearances And at the time when I was wearing these things, I thought I looked good, you know? So like this was me in college. I was wearing my little polo, my jeans. I felt like I looked normal, and I did. I was like a normal ass dude, right? But then this is also from around the same time when I went to the Grand Canyon, and you can tell obviously like I'm fat, right? Exercise shorts, polo, and I feel like a lot of fat people gravitate towards polos because it covers your second chin, which for me it really didn't, but in my heart of hearts it felt like I did. Um, I guess this is from later on in time. But again, graphic t shirt, exercise pants, little camel toe, moose knuckle, whatever you want to call it. I thought I looked good. I wore the little strap to hide my stuff. But this is like, what's that, Morbius? Or It's Morbin Time Marvel shirt. This is before the movie came out. I was a day one fan. But yeah, I was Morbin. I was Morbin all over the San Diego Zoo at the time. This is in London. And this is like when I had a bag and I spent actual money at DXL. So I look like a normal person, but I'm standing like a centaur. Or it looks like that, but like my legs and my back are in line, but my stomach made it look like it was crazy, right? But I felt like I look really good in this photo. This is probably like the best dressed I've been in years. And then obviously like I went to Egypt and they sold this to me and I was styling, bro. I had the sandals on. I had that boy on, bro. Man, this is like top 10 outfit of the year. But obviously double chin, big as hell. Wore the ultra watch. I'll wear my ultra watch from time to time to collect stats, but honestly like I'm not a trail runner. But I think at some point I'll become a trail runner. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. Inclines are kind of my main enemy right now. And then I have other photos to show you, but like this is me at my 5K. Dude, I did not want anybody to see that I was fat. It was crazy. Like I didn't pay for the pictures either, dude. I'm sorry. But like, look, I got the polo on, the multicam polo. I had like 6 of these dudes at a time. I had to get rid of them because people were asking me about them. These are the Hokas that blew out on me, dude. This is probably where I started blowing them out because the sole was so soft they started eating themselves out. It was tough. But had the Nike shorts on, felt like a baller, right? And that's really what it is. Like, it doesn't matter what you wear whatever you want. But if you feel like a baller, that's what you really need to get for. So like here, same thing, polo, exercise shorts, Vans, which these were like size 15 Vans. So like I had like an inch of space in the front, which isn't the case now. I wear shoes that fit. But I felt like a baller. I had my little goat, right? Things are good. But then you'll see like me in Japan, dude. I was definitely fatter than everybody there. And as you can see, like I have long body, little short arms, bro. It was a tough time. But again, like I don't look horrible, but I don't look good, right? And then here's me in Egypt again, or like actually in Egypt, we were swimming, and what did I tell you, bro? I wore the shirt and I wore the big XL pants, and I was like, nobody's gonna know I'm fat. I was the fattest dude on that. I was probably the fattest dude in that hemisphere at the time. It's crazy. But all this to say, if you're overweight, check out Strong Size, DXL if you got bags. I guess a lot of money bags. Um, Amazon's hit or miss. Walmart, avoid. And just have fun with it. Figure out what your style is and like try and find that. But at the end of the day, I feel like you're gonna hit the same, I guess, block that I did, where the clothes you want to wear, you cannot fit them, right? So for me, a lot of my clothes are still this style. Like even now, I have like 12 polos in the back, and eventually I'll get down to a normal weight where I can wear a button up and it doesn't look crazy, and I can wear exercise shorts and it looks like they're actually exercise shorts, but this is something I'm working on, and this is just like me sharing my life with you. So, feel free to reach out, if you're going through a tough time. But definitely, if you know me in real life and you see me acting a fool or dressing a little crazy, let me know. But like, this is my favorite jacket. This was like a 4X, and I could not find another one. I got this at Walmart. It was like $8. Dude, best sweater I ever had. It's a windbreaker, actually, but man, if I could fit into that right now, I'd be happy. All right, but that's all I got. I'll see you guys later, and thanks for, sitting through this, listening to my rambling. Peace.